Okay, today we are going to do a pour over tiles. And so we've taken some paints and we've thinned them down so that they just kind of string just a little bit when you bring your stir stick up. And so the formula that we use for this is, if you're using this type of paint, it's kind of half and half paint and the other half Floetrol. And then if it's still a little bit thick, you just pour a little bit of water into it so that that thins it down just a little bit. So what I'm going to demonstrate is a flip, and that means I'm going to pour a lot of different things into a cup, and then I'm going to flip it on top of a tile and let it drip, and then manipulate it. So the colors that I have here are orange, pink, kind of a aqua teal, no, not quite teal, almost electric blue, gold, and silver. My silver looks like it's a little thick, but I'm gonna go with it. Okay, so I'm going to take a cup, and I also have white. White's good to have colors play off of each other. So I'm going to start with white, pour a little bit in, and then just start pouring in a little bit of each of the colors. And a little goes a long ways with this. Gold. My pretty electric blue. That should play nicely with that orange. Seems a little thick. It's all an experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment. Okay, so I've got different tiles here. Tiles are a wonderful way to experiment. They're cheap. You can buy them at the restore for pennies. And even if you go to one of the hardware stores, usually this size is about 10 to 12 cents a piece. So that's a really cheap canvas to play on. And so I'm going to put something in the bottom here to keep it from sticking on the bottom. I think I'll start with a smaller tile. Here. So there's my mix. It looks lovely. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the tile on top, flip it over, and let it sit for a minute. Let it drip out of the cup. And hopefully I have plenty of paint on there for it to run. One of those things that you have to learn how much paint you need. And even already it looks beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And if you let it set just for a minute or two, you'll get more of these cells. These cells are created by the Floetrol and the white. Something about that combination just creates those lovely cells. And if you just let it sit and rest there for a minute or two, then you get a few more of those cells. I'm going to go ahead and start moving it around. Oh yeah, some of those colors are a little too thick because it's kind of got a little dam of colors there. No, I didn't just swear. You just kind of keep moving it around. And you never know what you're going to get until you're done. Life is like a box of chocolates. And even that is really got a nice look to it. Now I have this corner up here I'd like to have some paint on, and if it doesn't want to come back down, I just tap a little bit onto the corner there. And And I try and cover the sides just so that I have a nice covered look to it. Okay, so that has a lot more white in it than I thought it did. But I think I'm just gonna let it drip here for a second and see if some of these colors will kind of work its way down into it. I really can't see my gold and my silver in there. I can see a little bit of my electric blue. But all in all, I think I like the combination. And then when I'm done letting it move around, I just sit it down and let it dry. Then after it dries, if you want that shiny color to come back, because it will dry matte, if you want that shiny color to come back, you can spray it with a polyurethane spray, and it makes it shiny and beautiful. And I usually put 3 or 4 coats on it so that if I want to use it for a coaster or something like that, it stays really nicely and doesn't pull off of there. So you can also put a cork backing on it, or you can put flannel or felt on the back of it, and that will protect your furniture. So fun. We'll put some more of the pictures of things that we create out on our Facebook page. Check us out. Bye. Okay, so we just did a flip. Now we're going to do one that's more of an actual pour. And again, it's just all been poured in there. I've got like 8 different colors in there. And as we pour them out, this just gives a really different look than the other one had. Okay, I had way more than I needed, but it's kind of hard to tell. You just kind of have to guess. Then after I did my pour, I'm going to move it back and forth again, letting those little rivers and valleys move around. I'm sorry, I keep moving it so you can't see it in the camera. So there we have it. And again, we're starting to get some of those cells. That's from the flow trowel and the white. Just gives lots of interesting texture. So 2 different styles, and it's messy, it's fun. Give it a try.